Welcome to our new series, the 200 Movie Challenge. Our goal this year is to watch 200 movies that we haven't seen yet. If you want to listen to the full podcast where this clip is from, the link will be in the description. Now enjoy today's movie. Soto and Chad here with episode 29 of the 200 Movie Challenge, where no one's listening to the beginning, but we're doing this for ourselves. This has been a crazy journey. I know I say this every week. And we're almost 2/3 of the way done of the year. So we're pretty much on pace because after today, Soto, we have combined watched 130 new movies this year that we haven't seen, which is insane. Wow. And it's hilarious. And I know it's just more amusing to us, but you know what? I like it. And again, I kind of look back at some of the movies we've seen and we talked about, and it's just, I know whenever we've done this and we do like we're going to have a Saturday podcast where it's just going to be about this, and it's going to be great. But so we actually both have 3 movies to talk about. So we got a bit, we've gone 9 or 10 because we've had to double up. I know 4 to 5 has been our average the last few weeks, but yeah, having 6, it's good. Getting ahead as we're heading into the fall. And so, as usual, we're going to jump right into it. And Soto, I want to start off with you. This is a very interesting choice compared to what a lot of the movies you've watched this year. But as I always say, I give you the floor. What was the first movie you saw for this episode?
Well, I think I'm a little late to the party on this one, to say the least, seeing as how this movie is almost 20 years old. So really, it needs no explanation. But the first movie that I saw this week was the movie starring Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep. This is, of course, 2006, The Devil Wears Prada. Now, why didn't I see this movie at Blockbuster Video? Obvious reasons, because it looked like it was terrible. Why wasn't this one of my 7 free rentals a week? I just had zero interest in a movie like this in 2006 or whenever the hell it came out in Blockbuster. But, like most movies that I decide to watch on this podcast, it was free.
Oh, we like free.
We do like free. And I figured to myself, okay, well, I haven't seen this, and I'll make a point to see it. I've heard some things about it. In particular, I felt like I saw a movie similar to this kind of vibe, Whiplash earlier this year, which basically it's not really the same kind of vibe. But, for me personally, I've worked in working situations that are kind of like this idea where you're working for a very challenging boss and you're struggling, and so that appealed to me very much like Whiplash did. So I said, okay, cool. And I love Meryl Streep. I'm a huge fan of Meryl Streep. She's great. And so I was like, fuck it, let's watch an easy classic. I think I've mentioned that sometimes you just want to open up a bag of Doritos as a movie, and this is kind of that movie. It's not asking a lot. So for those who haven't seen The Devil Wears Prada, like I haven't seen The Devil Wears Prada, or I hadn't seen it for 20 years, basically the movie follows, Anne Hathaway's character as she kind of wants to be a journalist, and she lands a job as the editor-in-chief of a really high-end fashion magazine in New York City. And the story really kind of follows how she is kind of just kind of out of her element as far as being in the fashion industry, and how she deals with this really sort of ridiculous and demanding character of a boss in Meryl Streep, and just the fashion industry in general. And so that's really it. As far as what I thought about this movie going on, I mean, I'm not going to lie, Chad, it was pretty predictable. I wasn't like really stunned by this. I mean, I had obviously seen Meryl Streep's character in pop culture. And so I liked her kind of like icy thing, but I'll tell you, a movie like this, because of my own personal experience, it triggers me a little bit, because I can't stand the whole give up everything in your life for like some stupid ass goal or some stupid ass like company or anything like that. Like in my life and working in my life, I came to the realization that it's just not about being the coolest or getting to the top or making the most money or being the most famous. That kind of stuff I just can't stand. And watching, Anne Hathaway's sort of character arc where, she goes through her whole like sellout part and then she really leans into the fashion industry and commercialism aspect of everything. I just kind of wasn't really feeling that whole vibe, and I kind of felt like it was just whatever. But I did like Stanley Tucci a lot.
Oh, he's always great. And
Stanley Tucci,
yeah.
everything. And so he was really awesome in this movie too. My wife was like, "Oh, tell me about what you think about the clackers and everything like that." Okay, like it was mentioned. And then I was told about the cerulean sweater, sort of monologue about how, Andy's character or Anne Hathaway's character, Andy, like her cerulean sweater, like came from like this kind of trickle down thing of fashion and stuff. So that was kind of interesting, but as the movie went along and it kind of went along its predictable place, I wasn't really like totally blown away. I didn't really get the hype around this movie. I don't even know if there is hype around this movie. Like, I know you saw it.
So yeah, I obviously saw when it came out on DVD at Blockbuster because again, it's 7 for rental. So I'm like, fuck it. I can tell you, I haven't seen it since. And when you told me you saw this movie, I could barely remember a lot of things. I mean, I can probably remember certain scenes. I can see Meryl Streep. I remember both Anne Hathaway and Emily Blunt were great, and it was one of the like acting wise, they played their parts fine. And Stanley Tucci was great too. And FYI, I think there is a sequel coming out next year. So don't worry. Yeah, I kind of saw that. So, but I couldn't, like I said, I don't know if this is considered a classic. I mean, maybe just because it's Meryl Streep and anything she's in is almost a classic. But I could not really remember anything like story wise. Like you said, Stella. I'm like, did she? Okay, as you explained, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. She did kind of as she, because she's into it. Yeah. So when she was finally figuring things out, yeah, she was selling up. But I couldn't remember shit about this. I couldn't. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna. I remember thinking it was a good movie, but we've said that about so many. We're like, hey, it's a good movie, but I had,
it's a one use type of movie. I mean. I just felt like there's nothing wrong with a movie like The Devil Wears Prada. It's a great sort of date movie to take your significant other to. But you're right. It's digestible, but it's immediately forgotten. There's nothing in this movie that stays with your bones outside of obviously the iconic performance of Meryl Streep as the boss in this movie. I think that's kind of what everybody takes away from it. I'm interested in what a sequel would look like because you're kind of leaning into that like social media stuff. I know, right? Cringe, but that's where we live right now in 2025. It's like the social media creep. You see that in movies, and obviously that's had a huge impact in fashion. And so where fashion is now versus how that fits in like this kind of like very TikTok world that we live in, I could be interesting. It could be something. I think it could be more like substantial than this original movie was. This is just your kind of run of the mill, fish out of water, rom-com ish, not too much, but it's one of those kind of just movies that it's a great New York movie, but it's not a movie that you're going to remember long term. And the fact that you saw this 20 years ago, you've never seen it again, and you don't remember anything about it outside of Meryl Streep, I mean, that says everything you need to know about the movie.
Correct. And yeah, I mean, I can't imagine when the sequel comes out, when it comes out for free and it's on Netflix and I got nothing, I will probably check it out because, like you, I am curious. And I mean, we can guess what happens, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Like the big first one was big. I mean, I know it did well. A lot of people loved it, but 20 years later, I would love to go on the streets and be like, oh yeah, what you loved it? What was your favorite part? Meryl Streep, and that would probably be the only answer.
But, that's it. Meryl Streep's a mean boss. Like Meryl Streep's a mean boss. Yeah, they have to way has to deal with her. Oh my god, the expectations, all that stuff. But you're right. It's a movie that you eat and it immediately just slides out of you like Taco Bell. That's what this movie is.
This movie's like Taco Bell. All right, there we go. We're clipping that. Probably. We'll see what happens.
Like, yeah, that's it. It's nothing wrong with that because I love Taco Bell, as we talked about many times. It's just that there are certain movies that you watch and you go, yep, good. I was satisfied. I'm never gonna watch that again.
Yeah. So now the real question,
That's just
Soto, as we've been trying, and I know you just kind of
God.
reinvented your list, and because you're about close to 2/3 of the way done for the year. Where, where are you putting the Devil Wears Prada on your list?
This is a great question because I haven't thought about this. It's not terrible. So there's a certain like there's a certain chunk of my list. Here we are, by the way. We talked about this and we predicted that we're right at the number where would be like, this is gonna suck when it gets this high.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be like, is it better than all 30 of these movies that I've seen?
And I think that's
Uh
why the reworking helps, because again, when you sit down and you really are looking at your list as a whole, I mean, we always say it, just because we put it here, it might not say there at the end. I know we're doing this for, to me, this part though, Soto, is what I saw when we discussed this idea. Like, it wasn't just about seeing
yeah,
the movies. Like, I instantly said, dude, we have to rank these. And I'm like, we'll do it because your concern is like, I'm not going to remember shit. If we did this now and I'm
yeah,
like, okay, where's Oppenheimer? Like, but as we're, doing it week by week, it helps a little bit. But yeah, I'm like,
yeah.
to me, this is the moneymaker. This is what's hilarious to me. But yes, go on. Where are we putting The Devil Wears Prada, which is your 64th movie? Where are we putting it, Soto?
You know, my gut instinct and kind of what I'm gonna go with here is that I'm gonna put this at 29.
Ooh, you went. So this is going above Barbie, and underneath the
It
Northman.
is. It
You're
is.
you're a
I,
few
I,
spots
I
higher than
thought
me.
about putting it. I thought about putting it lower than Happy Gilmore 2. Um, but Happy Gilmore 2 has some things that happen to it that are not forgivable for me as a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And did I enjoy Devil Wears Prada? I did enjoy it. Did I enjoy it more than Barbie? Yeah, it was shorter than Barbie. So I like that a lot. That says a lot. I feel like 29 makes sense. This is by no means to anybody who wants to watch The Devil Wears Prada do I think that this is a bad movie, and that's why I have it ranked, kind of in the middle of the pack, literally with like in the 30 range. It's a great movie to just watch. It doesn't ask a lot out of you. It's just very predictable with one really good performance. Actually, I apologize. Two really good performances because Meryl Streep is awesome and Stanley Tucci is fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think on that alone, that makes this movie 29 for me.
All right. I'll be honest. Like I said, when you texted me this, I was surprised. I mean, again, I know this is not a movie that you would probably like. I'm dying to see this, but obviously, when we worked at Blockbuster, we've always mentioned like we try to see everything. And I know this
Yeah,
was a
sure.
huge hit on DVDs. This was number one. Like we had a ton of
Probably why I didn't
copies.
watch.
Yeah, you're probably like
Yeah,
and like you said, it's also it's a rom com, and at that time, the mid 2000s, everything the rom coms were that was like the big thing, just
yeah,
like. But this had
yeah.
it was something different to the people who saw it. So yeah, there is a little rom com to it, but you're right. Meryl Streep steals the show like she should, and she does.
Yep.
And I'm curious. I am curious about a sequel. I mean, did I ask for it? No. Like I said, if it's on Netflix and I got nothing else going on, I'll check it out. Then we'll leave it at that. But yeah,
There have been worse movies that nobody asked for, aka The World Worlds. Nobody asked for that movie, and
nope.
it was created. So The Devil Wears Prada 2 is. I'm not mad about a sequel. Like I would actually like to see the idea expanded upon because in a lot of ways, I didn't really feel like this idea was fleshed out enough. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think because I'm going to assume both Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway return in the sequel. I could be wrong. I have not
Mhm.
looked into it. I just saw when I was obviously getting a thumbnail for this movie. I saw that there's I didn't even know until I looked. So I'm assuming they would grab those two. So to me, it's going to be a lot more Anne Hathaway. Like, did she get into this world a little too much and is almost becoming like a Meryl Streep character? And will she, So I don't know. I mean, I can't wait to see it. I shouldn't say I can't wait to see it, but I'm
I
curious.
just didn't feel like I did like I felt like there was more meat on the bone between those two characters.
Mhm.
Uh where it could have like I didn't get enough of an arc between the two of them to really give a shit. And so the idea of a sequel to me is interesting because it's like, okay, expand on that relationship. Like what, that I just didn't feel like there was enough there. I felt it focused on, kind of the superficial ideas of the fashion industry and everything like that, but I didn't feel like there was enough between like their relationship and like what they taught each other. There was a little bit kind of like towards the end there, but I just felt that there was more opportunity to kind of dive deeper into that. I know that whoever is making the Devil Wears Prada 2 is not thinking like I am about that, to be like, oh, let's dive deeper into the relationship and complexities. They're just trying to probably make more money and just kind of, try to capture that magic again. But I just felt that I was very interested in that dynamic between them, and I don't think that it was fleshed out enough.
Yeah, it's been too long for me to remember anyway, so I'm going to agree with you. It has. Like, I mean, I couldn't tell you. Soda's opinion is right on the Devil Wears Prada. It's been 20 years since I saw it, so